Gnabry's gone, and look at this. This is where we're going to hurt them, I think, City. If Serge Gnabry can play Daniel De Groot, we might be in De Groot! And it's in the back of the net! City 0, the Graafschap 1. 10 minutes on the clock at the Etihad. Daniel De Groot has scored. Oh, fantastic from Milivojevic. And he's played Serge Gnabry, who's in behind. Gnabry towards the edge of the area. It comes back out, and there's number 2. Ravel Morrison's got it. What a debut from Serge Gnabry. Sets up Daniel De Groot for the first one. Sets up Ravel Morrison for the second. Morrison, Patrick, Beister, brilliant. What have we got then? Beister towards Patrick again. Now Morrison, now Herrera to Gnabry. Lovely play. Gnabry to finish it off. Straight the goalkeeper back towards Gnabry, and he's got the rebound. We are 3-0 in front. Oh, yes. A minute to play here as KDB on the ball, trying to make something happen, and no time at all. We have come to the Etihad and we have beaten City by 3-0. Look at the away fans, scarves in the air. They are proud of this team. No more so than me. What a performance. Hello everybody and welcome back to some more career mode coming your way today. Episode 9 of Season 3. As we head into the second leg against Manchester City. You'll have seen in the previously section the result at the Etihad last time out. It was sensational for us. 3-0 victors on the night, which means we come into today's episode essentially in the driving seat. We have the best second leg advantage out of any of the teams heading into this one today in the Champions League. So theoretically, we're in the best position we could be in. So I'm hoping that will see us through to the quarterfinals. But first, we have highlights to show you of our first game against Heracles with a much changed around side ahead of that City return. And there was quite a few players who got a start in this one who really normally wouldn't do. One of these guys actually being the very impressive De Graaf. I don't actually know how you say his name, so I'm hoping you guys do in the comment section. I don't know if it's the same way as you pronounce our team name or if it's different. But he was very, very impressive during this, and I have to give him a special shout out. But one thing to note right off the bat was that piece of defending right there. There's nothing much better than seeing an unbelievable spot of defending like it was. The block for a certain goal against us, and somehow we turned that into a very fluid counter-attacking move, which led to Ivan Herrera putting the ball in the back of the net at the other end. So, unbelievable stuff to start this one off. I'm not sure who it was who made that goal-saving block on the edge of our area, or just inside the box even, on the edge pretty much of the goal line. But whoever it was, massive, massive kudos to those, because it did save us a goal. And then Chong, with the 35th minute on the clock, found his way through and laid it on a plate for the impressive De Graaf, as I said earlier on. He actually plays in one of the later games today. You're going to see that. And I think it was his debut, this. He doesn't have, like, any boots that I've changed. He is very much the set player that you get from Youth Academy with the standard boots and everything. So I'm pretty sure he hasn't featured for us. But he might have done once or twice before. I just haven't realised. But following on from that, it should have been 3 as Herrera broke through in the last few minutes of the game and squared one on a plate for Carroll. But he didn't read it. And so it went wide of the post. But nevertheless, a 2-0 win, a relatively easy victory for us. But to be fair, that wasn't what today's episode was about. It was about the second leg against Manchester City, seeing if we could advance through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And you're about to witness whether or not that happened in just a few moments' time, as I hand you over to the capable hands of myself for the live game. And now then, we face Manchester City in the return leg of the Champions League round of 16. Safe to say, if we don't advance through, this is quite possibly one of the best chances we've got. You remember, from the last episode, we went over to the Etihad and came away 3-0 victors. An unbelievable result for us. And of course, that leaves us actually with the best lead off an aggregate coming into this. Everywhere else, of course, look there, 2-1, 2-1, 2-1, 0-0. And then, of course, this time around, we've already had 2 games that have been played, and Spurs got through on away goals against Dortmund. So for us, we have the best advantage heading into the second leg. So like I said, it's safe to say if we don't get through, I'm going to be disappointed in us. So I expect it. For the side, though, it's going to be quite strong. We're still going to go as strong as we possibly can. Injury to Milivojevic means he will not play here. It's a bit of a frustrating one, but there's nothing we can do at the end of the day. We just have to deal with it when it comes around. And yeah, it's one of them things. So I thought De Graaf had a great performance. in that last game against Heracles. So he's going to make his way onto the bench. And actually, we're going to start with De Groot on the left. And Jesse's going to make way for that to happen. Bosch in the centre, as we love to see. And we'll see how this game's going to go for us. A very strong side, of course. We can't really hold anyone back. We have to try and take the game to Manchester City. We've seen bigger deficits overturned, but I think the night is ours in this particular one. And let's get ourselves through to a quarter-final of the Champions League. Who could have expected this? Ajax went all the way to the semi-final. How far can we go? I'm not going to lie, body language, looking at it from the two teams when I watched that one play out, it looked to me we were far more confident of the two. But of course, confidence is one thing. Taking a game is another. And it's a very strong Manchester City side. To be fair, though, it was just as strong in Manchester. And I've just realised, actually, Serge Gnabry, we've not started him. Is he going to be a big, big miss? He was instrumental in the victory at the Etihad. Let's pretend he's injured and that's why he's not in the side. But that could be quite a mistake made by me. I forgot we even had him, to be fair. He was so good at the Etihad. And of course, one of the rules we put in place when we got him in January was he could only play the Champions League fixtures. Maybe we're not going to need him. De Groot and Ødegaard on the wings. For Manchester City, though, Ederson starts in goal. Danny Rose at right back, I believe. And look at their bench again. Marco Asensio on there. Riyad Mahrez 2. Marcelo Laporte and company make up the back four. Drissagana Gay, KDB and Silva in the midfield three with Sane, Jesus and Sterling. The firepower to try and get them back into this fixture. And as we get the game underway with Bosch, we are off and running. And we are 90 minutes away from knocking out one of the best teams currently in world football. They had a number of their players in the team of the year. But it is the Dutch representees who are currently in the driving seat. And that's not a great start from Bardini Pinera, who gave away the ball, won it straight back brilliantly, but then has again passed it straight to KDB. Not a man you want to give possession of football to as KDB breaks down the middle. Bardini Pinera brings him down. And a 5-minute horror spell for Bardini Pinera. And he could be off. He's going. What has just happened to us here then? A bit of panic set in, honestly, when I saw KDB getting through. I tried to slide to make the tackle. Bardini Pinera was the man who gave away the ball originally that causes the issue. And now Manchester City have a penalty. But we're going to delay that penalty kick to try and work out what we are going to do in changing this one up. I think we're going to make Ødegaard come off and not play with a striker, honestly. And bring on Tabido and do this. Maybe push Morrison slightly more forward into like a false 9 sort of position. Honestly, though, that is a horrific start to the game. I can't believe we did that. Genuinely, man. Morrison as a false 9. Have De Groot and Bushagli just on the outside of him. What a horror start to this game. Jesus going to be delayed from taking a penalty kick then while that substitute comes through. And here we go. Jesus up against Andre Onana. 5 minutes on the clock. City, he's gone with a chip and Onana will save it. I really don't understand the Panenka penalty. I don't know why people do it. It's horrific. You shouldn't do it unless you are good enough to do it. I'm not saying Jesus is not good enough because he is. But what I mean is just take it normally and you might score. And all of a sudden, with us being down to 10 men now, we need to reconsider our game plan a little bit, I think. But Ravel Morrison, look at that run being made through the centre. If we'd have got that through, we're in. Patrick Morrison, don't let him get round you because this is what he can do. Ravel Morrison pulls it back. What a block, Danny Rose. The group just stood there waiting to tap it home. And Danny Rose has saved a guaranteed goal. I thought he might have struck him on the arm, but no, it's hit him in the chest. Really good defending again as City try and hold on. And imagine if the 10 men of us went in front there. That would have been something. I mean, at the moment, 25 minutes in, I couldn't really be happier about the reaction to getting that sent off, the man sent off that we've had here, really. We've taken a game to Manchester City, or at least tried to. Bosch up towards Patrick again. And Bosch might be in again, you know. Bosch just dink it in. Gibbs White arriving, but it's just behind him. Lovely. Morrison, De Groot. Look at Ederson. He was already ready to come out there if he needed to. De Groot inside. Daniel De Groot. Oh, he's put it wide. He's put it wide. A spell of half an hour here where it's been non-stop action, really. Oh, he just never caught it, did he? Oh, look how close it was as well. Daniel De Groot. That's the finish, mate. And we would have surely been through. I mean, I'm still pretty confident, even with the 10 men, that we'll be able to carry this. Because the way we have played in this first half, I'd say we've been the better team, even with the 10 men. But sometimes in football, it is harder to play against 10 players than 11. KDB up towards Jesus, trying to 1-2. Not done to effectiveness, though. KDB shot coming in. How has he hit the woodwork there? Why did it go through so many bodies? We never seem to have it covered. And I genuinely didn't feel like that was really a testing shot. Gibbs White gets something on that, but not enough as Bernardo Silva's now on the floor. And it's a yellow card for Morgan Gibbs White. How did they nearly score with KDB? It didn't seem to be a very powerful shot at all, but it went past everybody, even including Onana, and it ended up hitting the post. The Strauman's going to reach that. Noah Beister with a bit of trickery. Plays his way out as well to Daniel de Groot. And we're going to actually get out here a little bit now, so we're okay. Unbelievably. Oh, come on. Make a quicker run. I know we've got 10 men, but we need to get up the pitch. Are we able to get close to Manchester City to stop them? Bernardo Silva skips past Tobido. Great tackle, though, from Noah Beister. That is what you want to see from your fullback. And then from Bosch as well. Have some of that, guys. Really are defending brilliantly here. Noah Beister first, followed up by Bosch. I mean, when you see your teammate put a tackle like that in, you know you're in a game. And there is half-time then. 0-0 at the break. 3-0 aggregate scoreline. Still in our favour. Them two tackles right at the end of the half epitomise what we have done in that first half. Unbelievable stuff from the two right-hand-sided players, Beister and Bosch. Sensio's come on as well for Raheem Sterling for Manchester City. They need a big half an hour or so here, but that's not great as fortune favours Gibb White. And we get it. Now it's through. Oh, lovely play from Bosch. Oh, it's just a heavy touch from Patrick. Gibbs White did so well. He gets a little bit fortunate to keep the ball. And then look at the play up until that point. If only the touch from Patrick had been good enough. Bosch's back heel got him in. But, I mean, again, what are City doing really in this scenario? I feel like they've been a worse team here. And we've played with 10 men for the last 55 minutes. I mean, City right now don't look like they can do too much. As Noah Bice has done well defensively again. Oh, that was dangerous. But we've got away with it. And actually, have a look at this then. Ravel Morrison carrying. Bosch might be in. Marcelo with him. Bosch again. Right-footed. Oh, what a... Oh, I can't believe he didn't score. Weaker right foot as well. What a strike. And now City break as well. It's just literally end-to-end. Asensio, good control. Greg Taylor might be able to get back and does do well, though. What's happening here, man? Oh, KDB should have had a shot. It's come back to him. He might do, and he does. Just as I said he should have had a shot, he did. Gibbs White got fortunate earlier on in the game to get a touch that came back to him. And now so have Manchester City, and KDB has broke the deadlock here. We've had chances ourselves. I'm not going to lie. I'll be disappointed even if we lose this game. I know theoretically now we can't get knocked out unless we concede 2 extra goals here. But even losing on the night, I still feel disappointed. I think we've been brilliant here. I mean, that is unfortunate, like I said, fortunate for KDB. But we did get slightly fortunate ourselves with Gibbs White earlier on in the match, so we can't really complain at that. Having said that, though, I don't feel like we deserve to be 1-0 down. Not only has he done really well there to Debo, he's put it into space as well, as it's found its way through to Herrera, and that ball has not left the field of play, but there we go! We go through to the quarterfinals of the Champions League. We didn't win on the night, and I'm actually a bit disappointed about that. Having said that, though, we've done the job, and for 85 minutes, after what could only be described as the worst possible start, we have been able to basically keep City quiet. Bosch had a really good chance, didn't he, right at the bar? We could have won tonight, but we threw anyway. So, honestly, not too worried. I mean, you look at those match facts, though. Look at that. 10 men. And we pretty much were the better side tonight. I don't know what's wrong with Manchester City. Like I said, they had a strong team. They have a lot of players in the team of the year. I don't know how you explain that one, but Pep Guardiola certainly will have to do that as they are knocked out by us. And we head off into the quarterfinals. Who awaits us in that? We will find that out in this episode. Alrighty then, let's find out who it's going to be for us. I think the draw's been made, but I could be wrong, so I've not actually checked this yet. Standings, and I think if we go to the champ... Oh, by the way, look at this. Literally, it's like, to me, to you. Every time we win, PSV are winning. Who have they got next? We've got Groningen, and they will play against Venlo. I mean, have they got a tough game coming up or something? Because I just need them to drop some points. I feel like the pressure's just constantly on. I know we've got a nice gap of 5 points, but even so, it's annoying. We do play them on the 21st of March, though. You know what? We're unbeaten, so part of me wants to play the rest of our league games. We've only got 8 to go to see if we can completely go unbeaten this season. So I think I might do that. I think I'm going to play the rest of my league games just to try and go completely unbeaten. That would be quite an achievement, even though I wasn't really looking for it at the beginning of the season. But anyway, what we're all looking for, Champions League draw. Let's find it out. Champions League, it's not been made yet. There's still games to play. Okay, then. So we're going to have to wait and find that out in just a few moments. But it means we will play against Groningen first, and then we'll come back with that Champions League draw. I just totally forgot as well that I did read a comment in the last episode that said it's actually pronounced Boss Cagley. So to call him Boss instead. So I've been referring to him all throughout that City game as Bosch. So from now on, I will try to remember. What happens is I get it in my mind, and then after that, it's so difficult to try and get it back out again. So in my mind, I was calling him Bosch, 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 Bosch. So from now on, referring to as the Boss. So Boss. What can Boss do? Now, I need to try and remember that because I kept calling him Bosch against City. So there we go. But we're in game. Groningen are the opponents, and for us, unbeaten is still on the line. Could we go all the way? That is the question. It's a strong team for us as well that I've named here. Not really risking anything. De Graaf gets a start. Thought he was brilliant against Heracles. Mainly because Patrick and Gibbs White needed a rest. So did Ravel Morrison, to be fair, as well, after that last game. Jesse, Vet, De Graaf, Erdegaard. Brilliant. Erdegaard! I mean, that was the strangest finish I have seen so far in this season. But it worked. I think I just completely mistimed it, and that's pretty much why. Ah, it was weird. That was such a strange finish from Martin Erdegaard, but it's gone in the back of the net anyway. And we worked it very, very nicely. It's the De Graaf again with another assist. Is it De Graaf or De Graaf? You're going to have to let me know in the comment section. But yeah, the finish from Erdegaard, it's worked, so I can't complain. But it was a very, very strange one. 1-0 in front. Erdegaard, ball through. Is he going to reach it? Oh, De Graaf again, he's in! That was the moment. He did so well as well up until the finish, and then it was straight at the goalkeeper. It was nicely worked though, wasn't it? Jesse has the ball a long way out, but we know he can hit them. So the more you stand off, the more likely is that shot's coming in. Lovely from De Graaf. Finds Boshagli. Oh, and it should have been another. Boss has put it wide. Oh, man, look at that. Really, really nicely done again. From, see, I don't know if I need to call him De Graaf or De Graaf. I'm going to keep calling him De Graaf for now. He's having such a good episode. And to be fair, I knew nothing about the guy. He's come from our youth academy. And he's not played up until he started against Heracles. Maybe he should have done. Ball down the line, which two players have gone for. One of those being Bardini Panera. And he has done much, much better with that defensive interception there. Greg Taylor going to be found now as well as we go in search of our second of today, which we really do need to kill this one off. And De Graaf is going to find the ball down wide towards De Groot. And look at that central area. Boss is there. Can he reach it first? Yes, he can. And there is our second goal of today. And it's Boss who's got it. 25 to go. 2 in front. Should be our victory. Unbelievable stuff again. I think it's a couple of changes now needed because we have needed some fresh legs out there. And I've got to say again, De Graaf has been pretty good in that central area. But Ravel Morrison is going to come on and actually even going to bring on even Herrera too. Even Herrera. And now we got Boss out wide on the left. Morrison towards Herrera. And we got 16 left on the clock. And the one thing I will say about even Herrera is he works so hard. Honestly, man, some of the stuff that he does, some of the runs he makes and the tackles and interceptions he goes for as well is absolutely brilliant to see. As Ravel Morrison tries to place one. And it nearly found its way through towards Herrera. But I got to say that about him. He is so important to have. And Straumann, it's one of the easiest tap-ins he's going to have. It was Bardini Panera, I think, at the near post who flicked it on. And there's our third. Trying to make a point about Herrera and about how hard he works for this team. But to be fair, it actually wasn't. It wasn't even Bardini Panera. He didn't get a touch on it. It came off of their player and Straumann just taps it home. But Herrera, since he's come on, has been working unbelievably hard. And he always does it. I'm telling you, man, if there's a striker you want in world football, even if he doesn't put the ball in the back of the net that often, but he works so damn hard up there. And there it is then, full time here. 3-0 victors, fairly comfortable in the end, and we dealt with the danger. It's lovely to see as well. A lot of the goals that we score recently have been so well created. And I mean, Boss is just having his way with this league, isn't he? I mean, look at those match facts. Dominant display from us, really. And we'll take that, 100%. One step closer to an unbeaten season. And here we go then. I think it has been made, the draw, because I just got an email saying tournament. Yeah, tournament prize money, 9.5 million. So it means the draw has been made. I mean, that right there, that prize money is pretty much half of what the club was even worth in the first place. I mean, look at the profit for this season, guys. Look at how much we've made. 79 million profit. That is absolutely immense. Prize money, 40 million of our 154 that we've got in this season has been prize money. 78 transfers, 26 merchandise, match tickets, and all that stuff. I want to see who sold the most shirts this season. Gnabry, Boss, and Erdegaard. That was that particular one there. In the next one, again, it's the same. Total shirts sold is down at 631,000, which is quite interesting when you consider. I wonder how many fans we had when this began, like way back in Season 1. I probably should have checked that to see how many shirts we actually sold in Season 1 and compare it, because I never actually look at this side of career mode. But again, I go back to my point. Maybe that's something that EA can improve on, because if it gives us something to think about, it might be quite interesting, like taking a look at this. But I find that quite interesting to see as well. Gnabry, Erdegaard, and Boss as the three who are highest shirt sales in this one. So, fair play. But now then, the moment we are waiting for. Champions League draw time. Drum roll, please. And here we... Yes! I'm not going to lie. The two that I was looking at when I saw this here, I obviously saw Hoffenheim had got through against Roma, I think it was. I was looking at this thinking, out of the clubs left, I'm looking at it and wanting either Sporting or Hoffenheim. And we have got Hoffenheim in the quarterfinals. Now, I can't say that it's going to be easy, because it definitely won't be. But out of the other teams that we could have had, Atletico Madrid, Bayern, PSG, Real Madrid, Spurs. You know, considering we just knocked out Manchester City, who had 5 players in the team of the year overall for the world, I think this is doable. We could well advance through to a semi-final. The problem is, I was this confident last year in the Europa League. We just beaten Mönchengladbach. We got through in that one. Who did we get drawn against and they beat us? I can't remember off the top of my head. Who was it? Oh, man. Who was it who beat us? I can't remember. But I was this confident in that last year and we got slapped, basically. So, I was about to say slapped. I just said something in the middle. Slapped we got last year. So, I mean, I can't get too confident. But, looking at the draw, I'm actually pretty happy with that. I'll take it. And that game is going to be played then in April. There we go. And it's right in the middle of an ADO game as well. So that actually might be decent for us. Yeah, I'm excited. So we've got AZ Alkmaar to end off today then in our final game. Feyenoord up next in the semi-finals of the Cup. In there as well, PSV Eindhoven in what will surely be the title decider. Whoever wins that game surely is going to win the title this year. Or rather, for us, if we win it, I think that's us pretty much done. If they win it, it gives them a way back into this. But they could get a way back into it if we don't win against AZ here. So next episode, Feyenoord semi-final, PSV to begin it. And of course, Hoffenheim in there as well. What an episode that will be. But to end off today then, for the final time, it's a league game. It's AZ Alkmaar. And we need to play our strongest side. And you know what? Because of that, and because we haven't seen him today, I am going to give a start to Serge Gnabry. Only right, you guys get to see him in this episode too. And here we go then. So our side looks like this. It's a strong team. Gnabry's going to start on the left, Chong on the right, Boss in the centre, with a midfield three back to our usual suspects. Of course, for us, it's pretty much keep going and try to achieve the unthinkable unbeaten season. The only time I've done this on a YouTube save before was back in League 1 days of our Hartlepool Road to Glory career mode in FIFA 17. That was the last and only time in a YouTube save that I've been able to go a full season unbeaten. So, you know what I'm saying? We could do it again. But, as I said in the previous ones, it's not at the highest important level. Yes, it would be fantastic if we do it. I will be buzzing. If we don't, yeah, it's going to hurt a little bit if we, we lose for the first 5 minutes. But then after that, our attention switches back to Champions League. So, how far can we go? I think the two that might be the problem is here and against PSV. They're the two games, potentially, that could stop our unbeaten run. But let's jump into this then and see if we can end off today's episode on a high. Having Serge Gnabry in the side will certainly help our chances here. Morrison gets past one, and it's now causing a bit of problems because we can get in behind him here. Serge Gnabry under control. Finds Ravel Morrison again with a return. Back towards Gnabry. And this is the area you want to be in. Serge Gnabry across. He's gone all the way through. Patrick. Oh, what a block. What a block. Gnabry fired it into that near post. The keeper got a touch on it. And look at this then for a block in the box. Oh, it really had to be, didn't it? Boss to send in the corner. And we're not going to win that first header. And it should come back out for us to pick it up and throw in. I mean, it's been a fast start, though, for us. We need to continue this and try and find this goal nice and early to calm any potential nerves. Here is Boss, off towards Morrison. Going to get it back as well, Boss, as he drives at AZ Alkmaar. Liam Cooper trying to go over and stop him. Doesn't really do too much to do that, as it's found its way through to Ravel Morrison, who turns, and that is another brilliant block. Defensively so far, AZ have been sensational. Struggling really to do too much, and the referee's blown the whistle, and we could have returned that ball back towards Jong. Very frustrating first half here, because AZ are making this very difficult for us. Some of our passes as well have been poor here so far. Need to shape up in the second half, and actually I'm going to make a change here. Serge Gnabry has been poor in the game, but for the purpose of that, he is a player that can make things happen. So I'm going to bring on Daniel de Groot and bring off Jong. Here is Greg Taylor. Now Morrison. Look at the run from Patrick. Found him as well. Patrick, he's got in. Can he find the cut back? No! Again, just the last pass. Literally the last one. And AZ make the defensive block happen yet again. Herrera. Patrick. Herrera needs to continue. Patrick has done enough there as he finds Boss. And Boss is forced to turn away from goal. AZ have defended so well today as we're in the last minute of play. As Patrick, now Boss, Herrera, keeper commits himself, and I thought it had gone in. It's wide, it's in the side netting. 2 minutes to play here. Remember, if PSV win elsewhere and we don't find a winner here, it will move them 3 behind us, sorry. So that game against them becomes even more important than after that. Don't tell me there's a last minute winner in this for them though. AZ Alkmaar come forward, and there goes the full-time whistle. Honestly, we should have won that. We only have ourselves to blame. The amount of first touches we got wrong. The amount of times we broke them down but just could not find that last moment of quality. Oh, so frustrating to play that last game there, especially how good we've been in the earlier parts of today. If PSV have won, they're 3 behind, and we go into next episode having to face them. Unbeaten still, though, of course, but does that really make a difference if we go on to lose the league title? And here is how we end off today then, my friends. As you can see, PSV still to play, so we don't know the outcome of their game just yet. They face off against Fortuna, so that likely is going to be a victory for them, although Fortuna are up into 8th, so maybe they'll do as a solid. Fact of the matter is, 21 wins, 7 draws is going to be very close, isn't it? If they win, they're 3 behind, and we face them off against then next episode. So, yeah, 6 games to play. I'm not liking the look of way this is going, but we will hopefully, fingers crossed, keep things going. Next time out, we'll start against Feyenoord in the semi-finals of the Cup, then into PSV in the league, followed by, hopefully, Hoffenheim in the Champions League. And I'll see you all for that very soon. If you are new around here, like what you see, hit that subscribe button down below, and I'll catch you all again later with another video. See you all then. Adios.